Best said Twitter CEO said that all workers can work from home forever. I am so very fortunate as well to be in a place where I can actually work from home. And I think no one's really talking about it, but I feel like there are exceptions, right? Like when you don't have a home office, you don't have a quiet space to work. Like I have always had a computer in my life. I've always had a desktop, always a laptop, computing technology. You know, like I was very lucky to bump into some of this stuff very early in life. And it's always like game consoles, right? Like as gamers, by being a gamer, now they're different, levels of game, but back in the day, like when you owned a console, right, and gaming was your thing, or a personal PC for gaming, you always had some place in your house, your home, that you would go to, and you would sit down and you would engage, right? You would engage with the machine and have the interface for hours and hours and hours. So I think gamers adapt very, very well right now, because people that didn't leave gaming behind as just a child's activity, or that they had to grow out of, or sometimes they just moved on. So, I have plenty of friends that they felt like they've seen it all, and everything they see after that is just some other rendition of something they've seen. So they've moved on. They'd rather do sports or whatever else they do. Everyone has, 40 hours of TV, whatever their thing is, right? But TV is this weirdly passive thing, and it's also entertainment for the family. Gaming can be that too. But when you have these sit down, engage with the machine, and that's what modern work is too, right? Typically gamers, I would say, have more of these things in their lives. I mean, look, my whole front room is just technology, like it's what we're doing right now. So I think it sets us up for a way to interact with this new world, and to be, I think, to have advantage, not necessarily against other people or anything like that, but just, it's not foreign. Like what I do is just now 100% of what I've been doing for almost my entire life anyways, right? Whether you're sitting down to work on creativity or doing socials, whatever the things that you do, gaming being part of that too. I know it's hard for a lot of colleagues and friends that they have their kids are home all the time now, and families are getting tighter and tighter into trying to murder each other every day. There's plenty of folks that I talk to and work with where their 5-year-old son is like, like these are kids, right? So there's a pressure cooker afoot as well. But I feel for them. But I think back to where I started this thought. I think not only have I been crazy crunching, but my productivity has been way up. Like all the things that you normally like, the commute and the small talk interactions. I miss my humans. Don't get me wrong. And I'll be happy when we get back to a non-state of pandemic. So, but I hope that companies realize that. I think overall, I bet you, my gut tells me that productivity overall is way up in companies where people can be completely remote. And I think that if we shift the paradigm to be 2 days in the office, 3 days from remote, right? Better work-life balance in that case. We wind up saving the workforce commute time, prep time, all these other things that they normally have to do, for better or worse. But I think anytime that we as a modern culture can give hours back to people to pursue things, and in this case, if it's work harder, okay, fair enough. But I have now recovered, if you think about it this way, like my commute is like 30 minutes, we'll be generous, 30 minutes, right? That's if sometimes traffic gets stupid, then it's stupid minutes, right? Like an hour. But it's 30 minutes each way. It's a pretty common thing. Worse for a lot of people. So that's an hour out of my precious 24 that I get to do. I get to be in a car and drive and experience traffic. And the good news is I that's also how I ingested TED Talks and podcasts. And I haven't refound that spot for myself to enjoy those things. So, it's funny how routines change and the things that you were doing change with that, right? But, and that's kind of the upside for it, right? And it's cool going to the office and, seeing fellow humans and getting together sometimes and nerding out on stuff, because the good news is that video chat is damn near real time. And the ability to collaborate now and to have good conversations, unlike it was just, 6, 7, 8 years ago when the technology wasn't as mature, and the delays were longer, you actually can do a lot more. I mean, look, we run every week. We do art reviews, and I couldn't doing that without having voice communication would be so much more time intensive. And I'm thankful for that, right? Like, this is the modern world we live in. As I've been liking to say recently, all of Hollywood, all the people that are making, like all the artists, musicians. I mean, a lot of these people, like producers, they have always, they have their sanctuaries. Sometimes, bands get together and they jam out in the studio and they do their things there too. But we're all content creators now, like, because we're sheltering in place, right? Like, and there are very few exceptions for that. So it's very, very interesting, modern times that we live in, and to see how people, how we're leaning into technology in a way that I didn't think was going to ever be possible. I knew it would be possible, but we needed a forcing function to pull us closer together for that technology. And it's now here. Like, now when I go out into the world, I go to the gas station or something like that, I just ordered some masks because I'm an asshole. So, but I haven't been wearing a face mask, and as it was described for me, you wear a face mask to assure people around you, because, well, you don't really know if you're infected. Fair enough. Like, you're not, so you're just giving other people, you're giving other people assurances that you're aware of the modern state of times, because, like, people that are working in the convenience store, it's not like I'm out there going, like, I'm not like an asshole, If I have to sneeze or cough, especially now, it goes right into like the shirt, and like, I've never, I'm not like coughing and sneezing in my hands and then pulling out my credit cards and shit, like, but that's also because I learned those habits from working in food industry, where if you got to sneeze, you can't sneeze on your hands, you can't sneeze on the food, you turn away, do your thing. And then, like, hopefully it was just a dry sneeze. Otherwise, you're going to the bathroom, or whatever. But anyways, I digress.